Primera competición, primera Málaga, primera más. Cargai, Mohamed, Agati Nicole, Anique Pepa. Con las cuartas,
No, pero estoy yo. No, saldré yo delante.
Welcome to the UCI Mountainbike World Cup. UCI XE Eliminator World Championships from Barcelona. My name is Matt Payne. I'm going to be bringing you all of the action from this amazing city that's played host to 3 rounds of the World Cup. We've got 2 riders who really made this their home. We have Jerome Van Eck, a rider who's unbeaten here, and we also have Gaia Tormena, who seems to be unbeaten pretty much everywhere on the series. It's an amazing setting, and the team having travelled the world all season, and our riders having come down into the wonderful town, wonderful city here of Barcelona to race in the Montjuic steps, over the steps, and this course is astounding. It's a classic XCE Town Centre Eliminator. It's a classic venue for us to come to. The World Championships, of course, are a special race. And when you look at the medalists over just the last 3 years, people like Gaia Tormena, Naomi Gardner, Irina Popova, people like Carla Brem, Marion Fromberg, Ezo Ahmed and Colleen Closure, you've got to say, they are absolutely astounding riders. And the riders who are getting those medals, well, they are going to be receiving their World Championship medals. Of course, what they all want is that World Championship jersey, and where better to pull it on than in the blazing sunshine here in Barcelona. Our riders have been through the quarterfinals. That has given them their rider numbers. The times to get into our quarterfinals are basically being set. The fastest time set by Gaia Tormena with rider number 1 plate on there. And as you can see, 4 quarterfinals. 2 riders from each quarterfinal will go through to the semifinals. 2 riders will be eliminated. And the first heat is particularly tough. Sergei Moreno, a rider who has taken a 3rd and a 4th place here in Barcelona before, up against Izo Ahmed, as well as Agatha Mikol, and of course the one and only Gaia Tormena. So Mikol, on your left-hand side, Tormena for the first time for a while, not in the jersey of the world champion, but in the jersey of the Italian national team. We will see if she can represent those colours and take back that jersey, take the win. She's up against some tough competition and riders who know this track exceptionally well. So 4 riders on the line, 2 riders through, 2 riders will be eliminated. They get the 15 seconds to go line. We wait to see our riders away. So they are primed and ready to go. Now the whistle goes, away they go. And as you can see, that big kick has come off from the line here. And it's Gaia Tormena comes into that right-hand turn. She leads this out. And Moreno is sitting in that 3rd position at the moment. So down they come, down those steps, around that left-hand turn. And Tormena already starting to open a gap on the French woman behind her. You can see Moreno doesn't want to go out of this. Now remember, the key point in this race is between positions 2 and 3 here at the World Championships, because it's not like a World Cup where we've got round after round. They can maybe get it back next time. There's one World Championships, and this is where it's got to count. They've got to be in the hunt. And Moreno at the moment looking very good. She's sitting in 3rd position. She needs to close that gap. Back down again, so round that right-hand turn onto this start-finish straight. Underneath the gantry they go. So 3 riders left in contention to move up and through, and it is Ahmed who is in 2nd position, the rider who is going to be under pressure from Moreno behind. Look at Sergei. Oh, Sergei goes down on the corner, just out on the corner of the camera shot. This should leave an easy run. They will have heard the crash down That left-hand turn has seen riders go into trouble before, coming around that hairpin bend. And that has taken Moreno out. Now, these two riders, if they're smart, they're going to ease off. Remember, the riders have to do the time trial, the quarterfinal, the semi-final, just to get into our finals. And that is a massive effort. So the smart riders will now ease off, take it steady, roll the way into the final line. They're not bothered about position. They are going to go through and save that energy. Both these riders who have taken medals, Med's best medal in the last 3 years was a silver medal back in 2019. Tormena took the win then, but of course Tormena the defending champion. And you can see here, back up and riding the riders on the way in and through, and Agatha Nicole is going to come round to take what's going to be a third place ahead of Sarah Moreno, who's not going to finish, I don't think. So, or is she? Here she comes. So she's going to take away fourth place, but of course, both those spots not qualifying. So, quarterfinal number 1 underway. It started in spectacular fashion, as you would expect here in Barcelona. Already you see the former world champion, the defending champion, go through. Now, our next riders are lined up. Selina Fromme, it's going to be Leah Shrevers from Germany. Alongside her, Ella Holmgaard of Sweden. And then it's going to be Margot Borrelli. Now, Margot Borrelli, of course, a rider who was world champion in Leuven in 2020. Can she take this? But here we go. Lined up, ready to go. There comes the 15-second to go board. The walk across is done. The commissaire whistle will send these riders away. Who will get the fast start here? It's going to be about getting down off those steps first. Massive sweep across there, as you could see from our German rider who pushes into position 2 behind Holmgaard. So it's Holmgaard in 1. It is then going to be Shrevers in 2. And those two riders with a little bit of a gap. And this means that both of the French riders behind have got to push here. Remember, Borrelli and Fromme, the riders who need to make up ground here. But it's a very clear division at the moment between the first 2 riders who are due to go through and the 2 riders behind. So here we go. Ella Holmgaard leading this out, not wanting to give any kind of ground up. And remember, it's important for these riders not just to stay absolutely on par, but also to get a gap. That means if they lose a chain, they can go on. If you haven't watched some of the World Cup series, make sure you go back. You can see how important it is for the riders to get a gap. We saw riders like Mariska Strauss putting a chain back on and still going through and getting great positions. Now into this really tight left-hand corner. They've got to not wash out. They carry the speed and pace from the steps down, and then that tight left-hand turn. But at the moment, the conditions good. Lots of grip down on the Montjuic park, right round the fountains here and in front of the steps. And these 2 riders, no matter what our French riders are doing, they cannot seem to close the gap down. So here we go, over the top of the tabletop at the moment. Holmgaard shouldn't need to expend too much energy. Neither should Leah Shrevers. They are both experienced XCE racers, as well as being regulars out of mountain biking. And a look over the shoulder by both riders, you can see how much they've eased off. The gap has come down. The rest of the riders coming up close. So Borrelli and Fromme come through behind, eliminated from the competition. And that is the second of our quarterfinals done here in Barcelona. The 2020 UCI Mountainbike Eliminator World Championships. The XCE format, always one that has plenty of thrills and spills. Now, this is going to be a really interesting quarterfinal. We have 1 French woman and 3 riders from the Netherlands. This could make for a very interesting race. We've got Elodie Kuiper and Moon van Didi de Vries, along with Colleen Closure. Now, Closure here, big rider, big name, fast, bronze medalist from 2019, a rider who has been on some absolutely storming form. And Closure, could she be the rider to take away a top spot here today? She set a mark down in the previous World Cup around, our last one in Winterberg, in terrible, absolutely horrendous conditions, the absolute polar opposite, quite literally, to the sun here today. So our riders lined, and the whistle blows, away they go. Who's going to get the quick start now? Closure should have the faster start here, but she's up against a team who will not want to wipe each other out here. It's happened before. So the 3 Dutch riders behind, not in the traditional bright orange that you see the Netherlands riders in this year, going for a white jersey. It's got little orange dots on it. You can't quite see that on the screen, but it is definitely very distinctive. There's nothing quite like that out there at the moment. You can see, though, it's a French woman who has the gap now. Didi de Vries, Amu van Diest, LD Kuiper, all racing the World Cup series of those riders. Well, it's very difficult. Didi de Vries should, in theory, be the rider who's going to be the one to challenge, but I think they're still all close enough. And one mistake, one slip, one slide is going to be enough to take them out. Closure being kept under pressure here. So the French woman's going to drop down on the steps at first. So it's Closure, followed by de Vries, followed by Van Diest. Then it's going to be Kuiper behind. I think LD Kuiper knows she's going to be out of this, but Lewis up over that tabletop carries plenty of speed, landing on the top of the platform. Interestingly, just making sure that she keeps it secure. So at the moment, leading through Colleen Closure, followed by Didi de Vries. At the moment, they should be able to take some Moon Van Diest and LD Kuiper just being pushed back. So on your screens, the French woman up onto the steps first. Then it's going to be Didi de Vries there, trying to close down that gap behind, but I think it's too late now. And again, you can see the throttle is shut down. They back off the pace. So Van Diest and Kuiper not going through Closure, and de Vries, they're shaking hands, fist bump as go over the line. 3 of our quarterfinals done. So now we are on to the 4th of our quarterfinals. Naomi Garnier in the mix for France. In fact, 3 French women in this one. The rider who's going to try and break up the French dominance, Marcela Lima Braga Matos. Marcela, the rider on the left of your screen, the rider who took win number 1 in a spectacular race in Abu Dhabi, out and around Wolfie's bike shop. It was a great setting with some immense obstacles. Run off at night in the slightly cooler temperatures, and only slightly cooler temperatures. So the riders are lined up on the grid. The fastest, in fact, in qualifying was Naomi Garnier with the number 3 plate, the rider who finished 18th in the series overall. But could she be the rider to take the match? So it's Imbert, Hoivet, going to be Garnier, and then Matos. Matos, though, the rider with everything to prove. She's got almost there. Can she make it to that top step this time around? This kick is critical on this course, and it looks to me like Matos is going to leave herself a lot of work to do here. So sweeping around the bend down into the descent. Matos on the outside coming into this corner. It means she's in danger of losing another spot. She's in 3rd place going into that corner. She holds 3rd place coming out as they go up and over the double tabletop there, coming around the turn below the mountains here. And this is going to be a battle between Matos and our 2nd place rider here. So a real fight on our hands here for the Brazilian rider who really did set the world light, beating the world champion at the time as it came in. Now look at Matos come up. She used her pace and speed there. Look at the momentum she's carried into this straight here. So Matos carried the pace off the jump, came up, and she's carried it in. Now, can she use that kind of skill again to move up position? She comes on the inside now. She's challenging down the steps. She's going to come into the corner on the inside. She's going to try and run away. She can't run away. That means that she's still in 3rd place. It's going to be very close indeed. Now it's going to come down to that final climb. So over the doubles they go, round the base of the fountains, taking that right-hand turn. Who's going to take this out? Will it be Hoivet or Garnier, the riders who are in 1 and 2 at the moment? Matos has to find some pace from somewhere here. Please tell me that we're going to see her kick on as fast as she did last time. She got so much pace, but I think she hasn't got anything left. And it's going to leave it. Garnier and Hoivet. I think Garnier's just going up and around the inside. So the 2 French women, they look over the shoulder, almost synchronized as they come around the turn. It's going to be Garnier, Hoivet, followed by Matos, and then Imbert and Marcela Lima Braga Matos, the Brazilian rider, comes in 3rd place, eliminated from the competition. Wow. So what a set of quarterfinals in our women's competition. Our men lined up ready to go, and in this we have our defending champion in here. So we have Hugo Boulanger of France, we have Kasper Kastet of Sweden, we have Felix Klausmann of Germany, but the rider with the biggest moustache in the business is Simon Gegenheimer. So you can see your qualifying women through, really obvious. 2 qualifiers through into the semi-finals, the rest of the riders out, the men lined up. So here we go, Gegenheimer, Klausmann, Kastet, Boulanger in heat 1 in the first of our quarterfinals, then Rika Morales, Quez, Migarants, followed by Vanek, Kalhoven, Demongeon, Orchon and Co. And then our final run through, which is Lukman, Garnier, House and Bowl. Now, this is going to be a very interesting race. Klausmann, the German on the right of your screens, is in theory the fastest starter of these 4, but Boulanger has got great elbows and great racing ability, and Gegenheimer is the defending champion. So let's see who can get this corner, who can take this turn first. It looks like Gegenheimer has got that. Look at the lead on Klausmann there. They are going to go down here very close indeed. They make it down the steps into that left-hand turn. This is where we've seen riders come into trouble, and it looked to me like Kassersted just getting a little bit bulk coming out of that turn. So it is Gegenheimer, the defending champion, a rider who goes well here in Barcelona. He's currently looking good. Barcelona was 2nd place when we were here last time around, giving best to Jerome Van Eyck, but he is the rider who's defending his World Championship stripes. He's got a little bit of a gap on his countryman. That's Felix Klausmann, but Kassersted is not over and done with. They're queuing up, and Boulanger makes a move on the inside. Boulanger's gone on the inside of Kassersted. Kassersted left the door wide open. You could have driven a cart through there. And Boulanger said, thank you very much. That is going to be mine. In he went. It's moved him up to 3rd place, but he's got a more difficult prospect now because he's up against Klausmann, who lets that gap go a little bit further to Gegenheimer. So it's Gegenheimer in 1. It's Klausmann in 2. Boulanger, a man who can put in a move. In 3, he comes on the right-hand side. He's trying to challenge Klausmann, but they're onto the steps and time is running out. They compress as they come into the turn. Gegenheimer's going to lead them on to the finish here. Boulanger tries to push. I think it's going to be a German roadblock in front. It is. Wow, Gegenheimer, Klausmann, Boulanger and Kassersted in that order. Boulanger and Kassersted going out of the competition. Gegenheimer and Klausmann going through. Wow, what a race. Wow. Okay, so our next this quarterfinal lined up, Nils Obed Rika. Then it is Emmanuel Hues. And then on his right or left, it is going to be Ricky Morales. And then alongside Ricky Morales will be Alberto Migarants Fernandez. He is our rider on the left of our screens. On their right, the riders are primed and ready to go. Remember, only 2 of these riders will move on in the competition to our semi-finals. The XE, the super short eliminator race format. And lucky enough to be watching this since the days of Dolby Forest back in the UK. So our riders go across the screen, and we see the 15-second board go through. Here come our riders on the sound of the whistle. Their leg go, and away they go. Who's got the fastest start here? It's going to be Morales, I think, who's going to lead him into that right-hand turn. But look at that big move around the outside. He's going to get squeezed out, though. You can just see there. Who's just getting pushed aside there in that Zurich jersey. So at the moment, it is going to be Morales who comes up over the top first. He's got a little bit of a gap starting to open up on Nils Obed Rika. So Rika really trying to push on here at the moment. But you can just see it's Morales with Rika then being followed by Hues. Hues has a good time when we come in here. Normally he's been riding very, very strongly. But at the moment, it doesn't look like he can figure unless he can get alongside the rider who's got the confidence to look over his shoulder there. And that is going to be Fernandez going over the top now. So I'm going to take a quick check as it comes through. So here we are. Morales leading through the end of lap 1. Fernandez is in second wheel here. So not the German Nils Oberriga, my apologies. Just coming through, just a update on the screen. So it is Morales, then Fernandez, then Hues, then Rika in 4th place. So Fernandez on home turf here, looking good, holding off the Italian rider behind. He manuals his way over that platform, over the landing, halfway up the steps. But Morales has the front here. He should go through pretty cleanly. He's got the gap. He goes through. You can see what that means. I'm very happy, Ricky Morales. And then it is going to be Alberto Migueles Fernandez, followed by Juez Enrique. And the two riders at the back eliminated. And in fact, from the first rider to the last rider, separated by 1.78 of a second. Wow, halfway through our semi-finals. Amazing to see those riders come in and through. Great to see just how fast they can move when they want to. And I'll tell you something, what a ride here. The riders coming through. In fact, just an update on our timing screws here. Less than a second separating first to fourth in that semi-final, in that quarterfinal. So the riders through the semi-final, Morales and Fernandez, eliminated Juez Enrique. Now, the man on your screens, Jeroen van Eck, is the man to be in this heat. The rider with the number 2 plate has never lost in a World Cup here in the finals. He has, however, moved his way through from the back positions, and when we've seen him on here, he's been taken out by riders falling in front of him. People like Serra's going down. He's been able to come against him, but look who he's up against. Calhoven, de Monchon and Auchamp. 3 French riders, but look at Jeroen van Eck start here. He absolutely loves this course. He came in saying all over social media, I love it, this is where I am, no one's going to beat me. Well, at the moment, he's set his stall out, and at the moment, he's manning it with a great aplomb. He's absolutely flying around here, and the gap is opening. He takes a look behind him, out of the saddle, while sprinting away from that obstacle. And behind him, they are just in pieces. The gaps have opened up here. It's like he's doing a 1-lap sprint. He's got another lap to go when he gets to the top. Very nice manual as he comes up over from the first set of steps to that second set of steps to maintain the bike at the right angle. The riders are manualing across the top and in. It absolutely takes some skill to do that and get the angle spot on. No problems at the moment. So Jeroen van Eck with Kilian de Monchon on his wheel. De Monchon, a very fast rider. Last season, not up to the same pace so far this season. Carrying a lot of speed, almost over jumps that double there and lands a little bit further down the descent face there. But at the moment, it's going to be Jeroen van Eck on his way up and over. Remember, Jeroen van Eck, of course, a rider who was a silver medalist in the World Championships last year. He knows he can do this and roll his way in. He's got de Monchon on his wheel. He'll give this to de Monchon if he needs to. But what he doesn't want to do is lose out to Calhoven and Auchamp. And I think it's to be Auchamp along with Calhoven who are eliminated. So it looks like a little bit of a issue with the knee there for Calhoven. And they certainly put up a tough fight to start off with, but not going to be his day. So Jeroen van Eck and Kilian de Monchon through. Those two riders separated by 0.23 of a second on the finish line. Auchamp and Calhoven eliminated in the third of our quarterfinals. So the eliminator in front of you, or the real icing on the cake at the end of a fantastic season of XCE. So here we go. We can see our last riders just getting lined up here. 2 Frenchmen, Tito and Perrin Gagne, along with Riyad Hakim bin Lukman, a rider who's been on some absolutely storming form. And of course, Theo Hauser, who's got an incredibly quick start and has been a real revelation. But the man on the end here in the French jersey, rider number 11, the former world champion in 2019 and 20, losing out to Gegenheimer. Is it going to be his day today? He was flying at Winterberg. Can he do the same in the sunshine here today? We wait for the whistle to go. Is it going to be Perrin Gagne with the start? Hauser has got an incredibly quick start. Bin Lukman has been coming into some of the best form we've ever seen from him. And Bin Lukman is going to hold second place coming around this turn. He's got to defend that position down the steps. But he really has been able to rise strongly. He holds the inside line. He tries to put Hauser wide. Hauser going wide has only left a little bit more of a gap, though, for Perrin Gagne on the front. So Tito and Perrin Gagne leading out this race. Comes round the turn. He's got the next tabletop to go. And at the moment, you can see Bin Lukman being dropped further back down the standings here as he moves in behind Favre. So 2 pairs going onto the steps. Perrin Gagne and Hauser at the front, and Bin Lukman is shoulder to shoulder there with Favre, and Xavier Favre puts him on the floor there. I think that will end up coming down to a commissaire's decision, because that was pretty much Bin Lukman versus Favre, nothing else around, and Lukman ends up on the deck. Now, look behind, a very big look behind there for Perrin Gagne, working it out. if he can afford to ease off Eddie. He won't want taking out of the competition. He may well want his teammate to take Hauser out. Hauser's a big threat when they come into the final. You can see he's pushing on here. He's keeping Perrin Gagne from being able to ease off too much. Over the top he comes, and now the person who's in the position of elimination is going to be Favre and Bin Lukman. I think Hauser and Perrin Gagne are well clear here as they come through. So I don't think that's going to affect the overall position, even if the position between Favre and Bin Lukman change. Hauser and Perrin Gagne should be going through into our semi-finals, because all of the action, all those bumps and barges were behind. And these riders, well, if anybody ever tells you that mountain biking is a non-contact sport, tell them to come and watch an XCE Eliminator, because it is very rarely that. Now, you can see Gegenheimer, Klausman, Van Eyck, De Mongeon, Morales, Miguel Fernandez, along with Hauser and Perrin Gagne showing us going through into our semi-finals. So great racing so far here in Barcelona. An amazing setting for the XCE Eliminator. So the first pair of semi-finals we'll have are going to be between Gaia Tolmena, Ella Holmgaard, Leah Shrevers and Isabel Med. In the first of the semi-finals, Colleen Clojour, Naomi Gardner, along with Didi De Vries and Leah Hoivet. In the second of our semi-finals, brilliant to see that these riders have got through. Commiserations to those who haven't, and of course we're going to be doing it all again and next year. The XCE continuing onwards, and looking forward to our World Cup Series and our World Championships next year. This year it's seen some amazing racing, and we've been all over the planet. We've been up to altitude in the Himalayas, we've been across to Indonesia, seen some amazing crowds and some great racing. Now our riders are lined up, and it is going to be Isa on the right hand side. You just see Gaia Tolmena just having a little bit of a wobble there, with Leah Shavers on her right hand side, Ella Holmgaard on her left. So left to right you've got Shavers, then you've got Tolmena, then Holmgaard, then Med. Across the screens the riders are readied. 15 seconds to go. Board makes its way across the riders and know that they are good to go. They go on the sound of the whistle. The commissaire getting ready to send them away. Tolmena normally with the fastest start. Is she able to repeat this once again? These repeated starts have seen her take the front, but Ella Holmgaard has got a bar in front, but runs wide on that corner, not wanting to land down and take herself out of the competition, fighting for position. But Tolmena in this semi-final has currently opened up a gap. Just goes over the top of the back. We're just skipping up a little high there on the first of that tabletop duo, but looks to be like, despite that, Tolmena carrying plenty of pace into the next tabletop. Behind her is Holmgaard. Really interesting, or the riders, when they get it dialed, they know how to pace this, they know how to work hard, they know when to ease off, how to save as much energy as possible. But you remember, every time they dig into the red zone, every time that lactic acid starts building, they've got to get rid of it for the next round. The only time they can give it absolutely everything, realistically, is that final. But they've got to get there, and they've got to do so smoothly. So at the moment, it is Gaia Tolmena leading out. Immediately behind her, you can see Ella Holmgaard, the Swedish rider. So Holmgaard chasing at the moment. Ella Holmgaard, a rider who's had a second place here before in Barcelona. She was ninth. So she was in what was going to be fifth place in the previous World Championships. So back in 2021, she was in the same place in 2020. So Graz and Leuven in the same position, and the battle comes now. So Holmgaard defending, she's experienced. Has she got the pace, the power to kick out the corner? She has. She just pushes the bike across, and it takes Leah Shavers out. Is Med not in the race? And Shavers, realistically, the only rider who's like it. So really interesting to see as they came in and over the line there. And Shavers and Med out of contention. Tolmena and Holmgaard coming through. So going on from the first of our semi-finals will be Gaia Tolmena and Ella Holmgaard into our main final. Med and Shavers will go into the minor final, the small final, to decide positions 5 to 8. So one semi-final done. Our riders lined up on the start straight. So Didi De Vries on the left of the grid, our right hand side, alongside of the Naomi Garnier of France. Then it is going to be the second fastest rider in qualifying in the time trial, Colleen Closure. Then on her right, our left, it is going to be a compatriot, Leah Hoivet. 3 French riders, 1 Dutch woman, Netherlands rider poised, ready to go. Closure really low on the bars there as the whistle blows. Away go our riders, and this is going to be an interesting fight here because Didier de Vries really, I think, has her work cut out here. Closure has looked very, very good as we come in towards the end of the season. She's looked like the rider to beat and the one who could potentially challenge Gaia Tormena, who's been right up there at the right time. We saw the battle unfold in Winterberg. I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but make sure you go back and watch it. Amazing racing out there in absolutely horrendous conditions, the absolute opposite of Barcelona where the sun shines down. Well, who's going to be having the sun reflect on a gold medal, a silver and a bronze medal? They have to make the finals, and to do that they've got to be in the top 2 in this semi-final. Here we go, round this right-hand turn. So through they go. Taking the right-hand turn, Colleen Closure comes round and drops down, then immediately behind her. It is going to be Naomi Garnier, then Leah Hoivet, and then Didier de Vries. So those are your top 4 riders that they drop in and over. Yeah. Half an hour's worth of finals racing done, and we're in to the second of our semi-finals here today for our women. And look at the gap that has opened up. And if ever there was a marker to put a doubt in the mind of our defending champion, Gaia Tormena, it has to be the thought that Closure has cruised around the top here. She literally almost freewheels into the line here. They're behind. It's getting very exciting indeed. So Closure goes through, Garnier goes through, de Vries takes a 3rd place there, battling to go through to the finals to the end. And then it is going to be Leah Hoivet who goes in and through. So the first of our women's semi-finals are done. You can see those riders who have qualified there: Gaia Tormena, Ella Holmgaard, Colleen Closure, and Naomi Garnier. Non-qualifying going into that minor final is Isabel Med, Leah Schravers, Didier de Vries, and Leah Hoivet. So the riders now know whether they're fighting for a medal or whether they are fighting for the places from 5th down to 8th. So here in Barcelona, the first set of semi-finals are done. And that is our women's. Our men's semi-finals lined up, and you can see we have got Simon Gegenhammer, Ricky Morales, Felix Klausman, and Alberto Miguel Fernandez, and then it's going to be Jerome Van Eck, Kilian de Mongeon, Titouan Perrin-Gagné, and Theo Hauser. Now, of these, I wouldn't want to pick who was going to go through in either of those. The second of the semi-finals with Jerome Van Eck unbeatable here to date, and then Kilian de Mongeon, and having Titouan Perrin-Gagné in there, and having Hauser. The second of the semi-finals could be the more difficult, but Gegenheimer is up against Morales, who is on some storming form. The Puerto Rican rider looking incredibly good in his quarterfinals, and a rider who knows how to battle. He's up against Felix Klausman as well, and Fernandez. So will it be Alberto, Felix, Ricky, or Simon who go in and through? The whistle goes, away they go. Now, who's going to get the fastest start? It's going to be Gegenheimer who comes into this right turn. He's got Klausman on his wheel. Morales runs wide. He's got not a lot of option there. Has to take that wider line, but comes down that pace. I'm not sure where he found that. I think he's subject to an extra bit of gravity to anybody else down there. He absolutely descended that like he was racing a downhill. I'm not sure he even touched the step, because Morales went from 3rd to 2nd place on that descent. From taking off the top of the steps to landing, he's moved up a spot and come into 2nd place, and this has put Klausman in trouble. So Gegenheimer onto the steps, then Morales. These are the front 2, and all of a sudden it looks to me like Klausman is going to be in trouble here. Klausman could have absolutely everything to do here, as well as Alberto Miguel Fernandez, because they are now in 3rd and 4th place. Look at Gegenheimer, that is supreme confidence. He knows exactly where he wants to put that bike. He sets his body up in position absolutely superbly. Morales is slightly higher on that bike, but he's using that strength and that power. He's accelerating his way down the steps. He's closing the gap on Gegenheimer's back wheel here, and this is going to allow Klausman to come up Now, Morales has not got to just focus on the wheel of Gegenheimer, because here comes Klausman, and Klausman can sprint. Has he got enough? Is there enough room? They come out of the corner. Gegenheimer is going to roll over. Morales does, and Morales holds that space. Klausman, I think, very disappointed there. He absolutely shot off the finishing straight and out of sight. He really didn't want to be hanging around at the end of that race. So, what a move by Ricky Morales on those steps. He was out of contention, drops down, so Klausman and Fernandez go through. Really interesting to see just how much Klausman and Fernandez wanted that and couldn't take it. Morales goes through, Gegenheimer goes through. Fantastic to see. They're going to be the riders who are fighting it out in our final. The question is, who's going to join them? Will it be Theo Hauser, who's on your screen at the moment? Super fast and really quick this time round. So just a little bit of trimming up there from Kylian Demongeon. Another of our good overtaking riders, but Jerome Van Eck came in here pronouncing himself the hot favourite. He's up against Titouan Perrin-Gagné, and Gagné is quick off the start. He's on form. He's been absolutely on fire at the end of the season. He's got better as time goes on. Perrin-Gagné, Van Eck, Demongeon and Hauser in that order. So here we go, down the straight, let's go over the line. It's Perrin-Gagné from Van Eck who's got that. Demongeon goes on the right-hand side, tries to look for a way round, and having to take the long way round is Hauser. He went to the left, he went to the right, he couldn't see a way through. There's a roadblock in front. At the moment, he's right at the back of this race with all of the work to do. Perrin-Gagné and Jerome Van Eck at the moment are the 1-2 as they come around on here. And at the moment, they are neck and neck. The front tire of Jerome Van Eck overlapping that back wheel of Titouan Perrin-Gagné. But look at this. Demongeon not out of this. He's pushing on the right-hand side. He's looking for an opportunity to come through. He really wants this. Hauser's going to come down the side of him as well. And I think Hauser can come up the inside on this corner. He does. He sweeps wide, and it's now pushed Demongeon back. Demongeon so busy looking in front. He got taken from behind by Hauser, but as they battle it out, it's leaving the way clear at the moment for Perrin-Gagné and Jerome Van Eck to hold the front of the race. Remember, 2 riders through. Hauser now with the opportunity to challenge. Demongeon has sat up. He's out of this. Game over. He's going to be in that minor final. There's no way back here from him. But Hauser, he's going to challenge. Are they going to take out Van Eck here? Perrin-Gagné is going to come up the inside. Comes Hauser. Hauser's pushing. He's leaning on him. They're going to be side by side. Who wants it the most? It's down to a tire width, and I think the upset has happened. Self-professed vote, Jerome Van Eck, the man who's not been beaten here in a final. He's out of the finals, and he's going to be in the minor finals. Perrin-Gagné goes through with Hauser, putting in a move that would do Formula One proud here today, because that was some move by him. He went up the inside corner on the final turn and then sprinted out. What a finish. So Gegenheimer, Morales, Perrin-Gagné and Hauser, they are our 4 qualifiers for the final. Migueles, Fernandez, Klausman, Van Eck and Demongeon, they are the riders who will be fighting out for 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th position. Really looking forward to seeing who takes what on the way through. Interesting racing here, and we've now seen the first look. So we said that second men's semi-final was going to be, and it really was, because it really came down to what the riders could pull out at the end of the race there. 3 riders in contention, and really in some ways the biggest surprise in the fact that Demongeon was in the mix but then got eliminated out of that. So let's see who is going to go into 5th, 6th and 7th place in the women's minor final. Lined up the riders who didn't make it into that final, the German rider Leah Schravers, the Dutch woman Didier de Vries, and of course our 2 French women, Izard Med and Leah Hoyvet. Hoyvet with the number 11 plate on the right of your screen, Med on the left-hand side of your screen, dead centre, Schravers and de Vries in the German and Netherlands. The Dutch skin suit, who's going to take this out? Your guess is probably as good as mine on this one, because this is very, very close. There was nothing to choose between them. We got riders who've taken podiums at World Cups and at the World Championships, but as they come around that turn, dropping down there, we start by Med, very quick, but look at Shrivers. Very quickly comes up on Hoivet, goes over the side and comes into position 2. So at the moment, as we come around on lap 1 of 2 here in the Montjuic Gardens, at the base of the fountains, but base of the steps, coming back around the turn, you can see up over that long platform. The 2 leaders with a little bit of a gap, but this is not about qualifying. It's all about that final position. So you've got a race to take the highest position. Everybody wants to know where they stand in the world. Now you've got Didi de Vries in this race. De Vries 6th position previously. She's currently in 6th position this time round. She will want to improve on a position from Graz. To do so, she has to win this race. She's going to be looking to do that here today, but she has her work cut out because she is behind the rider. So we're going to see who's going to take this. It is going to be tight. So it is Shrivers, De Vries, Med, and Hoivet. Med leading, Shrivers in 2nd place, De Vries in 3rd, Hoivet in 4th place. This is all about getting in and seeing where you're going to be. Shrivers tries that inside line, tries to take that corner fast enough, doesn't carry enough speed in and through. So in our minor final, it is going to be Isabel Med who goes through. It's going to be Med goes through, then it's going to be Isabel Med going through. Shrivers is our 6th place rider, De Vries our 7th place rider, and then Leah Hoivet will be our 8th. So a 5th place for Med, a 6th for Shrivers, a 7th for De Vries, and an 8th for Hoivet. So great racing in our minor final, in the small final for the women. So as our riders are continuing to do their preparations and get ready, the shots here coming in on a screen, coming in to you live from Barcelona, and of course we get them to you as quick as we can from site. And we've got some good friends down on the side of the barriers, as well as in the race, again updates of course on our screens, and of course we get these amazing pictures of this beautiful city as they come through, and in that 5 to 6 seconds it takes to come to us. Now we are going to make sure we keep you entertained as they come through. So the first of our minor finals done. Med, Shrivers, De Vries, Hoivet taking away 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th place in the women's competition. Next race up will be our men's minor final. And this has got Jerome Van Eck, Felix Klausman, Gillian de Mongeon and Alberto Migorance Fernandez. What a lineup, including 3 very quick starters, Van Eck, Klausman and de Mongeon. They are the riders who should be taking out the start, but there's something. Alberto Migorance Fernandez has been right in the mix, and I wouldn't discount it. You're on home soil, you're in Barcelona, and you are looking to see if you can take away your best position in a World Championships. He's certainly shown it'd be great to see him on seeing this. So the result confirmed for us in the minor final. Med, Shrivers, De Vries, and then Hoivet. They are the riders in that order. Hoivet coming in the end 11.3 seconds down, but look at that difference between Med and Shrivers. 0.8 of a second, a lot less coming into that final corner, but Shrivers not able to make that stick as she came around that turn. De Vries going to be having to be content to get into the run final and get a good position there. So here in Barcelona, it's the 2022 World Championships. We have the XE, the mountain bike eliminator, where our riders have to fight for position. They started off the day by practicing on the course and getting those lines dialed. Then they went into the time trial, one rider against the clock. Fastest rider gets the #1 plate all the way down to the last rider in the field. The riders eliminated out, so we saw people like Esther Barecki and Hannah Beck eliminated in that time trial. In the women's competition, we saw Kirill Tarasov eliminated in the men's competition. From there on, it's then into the knockout stages, where our riders get eliminated by their competition. 2 riders through, 2 riders out. We have now made our way in and through, and the riders have been eliminated and taken out in that fight. And we've seen some real big names. People like Anton Olstam have eliminated relatively early in the competition. And Anton Olstam, a rider who we know is in the medals twice, he was twice a bronze medalist in 2020 and 2021. But our riders have to keep focused. They can't think about those medals. They have to stay focused. You can see Gaia Tormenta here warming up on your screen. This is about making sure those legs spin that lactic acid out so that they can get themselves back onto that start line in top form. So our next rider, who we're just taking a little look at, really interesting to see these riders getting that warm up, to Theo Hauser. So they've got to get this right. They've got to take out the lactic acid that was in the legs. They've got to spin that as fast as they can. And they've got to get back out again. The riders up on the rollers. If you're looking for something to hold them up, it doesn't exist. For those people who are not familiar with a set of rollers, basically 2 rollers at the back, 1 roller at the front and the back connected by a big elastic band, big rubber band. That means that as you turn the back wheel, the front turns and then you just balance. And there are riders who can knit, do pancakes, crepes, anything on the rollers. Some amazing skills, particularly by the younger riders, but it's a skill that's very handy on the track, as well as when you are riding a race or a set of races where you have heat after heat. So our riders being pulled to that start. You can see Alberto Mina and Fernandez making his way on to the start. So this is the second of our minor finals. Will we see a home win in this race for Alberto, or are we going to see the rest of the riders taking this out? So our riders lined up and ready, as you can see. Is going to be Kylian Demongeon on our right, on the left of the riders. And then it is going to be Felix Klasman. Jerome Van Eck must be smarting after that defeat that's pushed him into the minor final. Then Alberto Mina and Fernandez. Will Fernandez put on a ride that is going to see him take out Jerome Van Eck here today? So here we go. The riders lined and ready. They have to go on the sound of the whistle. The whistle goes. Away go the riders now. Klasman getting a very quick start off from the line here. He's ahead of Van Eck. And Van Eck not able to get his front spot, the one that he always wants. So taking that turn. So here we go, up and over. Oh, mistake there by Klasman. You nearly ended up on the deck then. And look at Joe Van Eck, he's not going to hesitate. Killer Instinct comes in as he goes round the side there. That was a big mistake in between those 2 jumps. That's got to knock his confidence there. Klasman making a mistake. This has dropped it down now. Van Eck looks like he's going to be taking this around on lap 1, but look at the push coming from Kylian Demongeon, a man who never knows when to give up here. He's into 3rd place, and at the moment it is going to be Miguel Fernandez behind in the 4th position in this race. So here we go. Down the descent, turn left, left turn. Van Eck pushes. Now goes Van Eck. This is where we saw that mistake from Klasman. Klasman holds it to go much smoother this time round, but he's got to because he's under pressure. He's got Demongeon breathing fire down his neck at the moment because the Frenchman is going to want to come up and alongside him as they come on the steps. Demongeon's pushing. He's going to know he's there. Van Eck is going to look to take away. He's only going to have been defeated, I think, twice ever here, and that was only when he got pushed down 1 place in the minor finals. But look at this, here he goes. He takes the win in the minor final. It's a Van Eck from Klasman, then Demongeon, and then it's going to be a Mignon Hans Fernandez coming through. So that's the order of the finish here today. And the minor finals, those are for positions 5 right the way down and through into 8th place. So 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th places. And you can see the result there. It is Jerome Van Eck by 0.24 of a second from Felix Klasman. Kylian Demongeon, 0.77 of a second back. And then Alberto Fernandez, 3.44 seconds back. So here we go. This is for the medals. No more rehearsals. No more time to practice. The left-hand side of the grid for the riders, Naomi Garnier. Then it is going to be Colleen Colosure, then Gaetaman, and then it is Ella Holmgard. So Holmgard on the riders' right or left. The riders aligned and ready to go. Defending champion in the blue of Italy. Second from the left-hand side, Colleen Clojure. Third from the left at Naomi Gardner, right on the far side there. Who's got the start? Here we go. This is it. Remember, that front position is critical. The defending champion goes in one. This is the battle we've been longing to see in this race. So it is Tormena. Now she had a confidence knock. She was wiped out by a barrier at the previous race. Is she going to be able to take this out and take the win? She wants that jersey back. She's absolutely loved wearing it. She's worn it twice so far. Can she make this stick? She's got the gap as she comes around onto the big tabletop, and only one rider potentially can challenge unless there's a mistake. This is mountain biking, and of course, mistakes happen all the time, and it is very easy to do when you're on the limit. So at the moments go round at the end of lap one, it is Gaia Tormena who is leading out Colleen Clojure in position 2, in that silver medal position. Can she make it a gold medal as she comes around that turn? She's keeping the pressure on Tormena. Tormena flying down there, then slams on the anchors, gets round the left-hand turn, sprints out, up over the first of the tabletops. Over the second one she goes. Now time is running out for Clojure. Can she do anything about the flying Italian at the front? This is a rider who has been out racing a mountain bike against the Lamborghini. Well, I think at the moment she's got more than V12 under the hood there, because she has put it to them. She's flying away around the course here. It's going to be an Italian win. She's going to retain her title here, a third World Championships win. It is Gaia Tormena taking the win, and she gets the applause there. Colleen Clojure takes a silver medal. It's going to be a bronze medal for Ella Holmgaard. A great result for Ella Holmgaard here today. And Naomi Garnier going to be in 4th place. Wow, what a race. Gaia Tormena showing she's back to her best after having a shaky end to the World Cup season. So some serious style there from our riders on the way round. What an amazing setting here today for our women's final. Gaia Tormena taking that win by 2 points. One of the second from Colleen Clojure in the end. But realistically, could anybody challenge Tormena after that first corner? They certainly couldn't, and it won't be long before our riders are stood in front of our backdrop down there. So some amazing racing from the riders. Tormena, Clojure and Holmgaard, the medalists. Gotta feel so for Naomi Garnier, not really in that race from that first right-hand turn. So there we go. The result is indeed confirmed. Gaia Tormena, Colleen Clojure and Ella Holmgaard with the gold, silver and bronze medals respectively. What a great ride. They'll be getting the silverware very shortly on that UCI podium. So one World Championship decided, one more to decide. The nerves have got to be intense here. We're alongside Simon Gegenheimer, Mr. Moustache, the fastest qualifier, the defending champion. He's up against Ricky Morales on his left. All right, then Tito Perengani, former world champion. Then Theo Hauser, the young pretender of these 4 riders. Can he make a medal? Can he take victory here today? They're off and away they go. It's the last XCE race of the season. The question is, who will take away the striped jersey? Who's going to wear the World Champs jersey? And already you can see it's elbows out between Hauser and Morales, but look at this speed at the moment by Tito Perengani. He's been the nemesis of Gegenheimer during the later races. The two of them have fought this out. They know each other exceedingly well. We're going to see who's going to take this. Remember, Perengani was the champion twice before we saw Simon Gegenheimer come in and take that last time around. Up the steps they go. Perengani leading. Gegenheimer's on his wheels. He's going to have to do something special in the last lap. Morales has got Hauser putting a sprint in on his inside. I think Morales might have relaxed a little bit too soon. He has. So that bronze medal position is not over and done with. That fight is going to come down to the line between Morales and Hauser. But this is the battle for the gold medal for the World Championship of 2022. Perengani took the lead. He put his nose in front. And Gegenheimer has got to find something. What's he got in those pockets? What can he pull out? They're going to come into the steps together. Gegenheimer goes on the right-hand side. Perengani's got the line. And look at this. Gegenheimer takes the inside. But this is surely going to be the day for the Frenchman. The sprint unfolds. This one, Perrin Gagné takes the win. He is world champion. He can hardly dismount quick enough. The team are all over him there, and it's going to be disappointment for Simon Gegenheimer, who couldn't defend it. The family is there, and look at Perrin Gagné. You can hardly believe it. He's down on the floor. What a finish. That man wanted this so much. He wanted this back. And as his teammates look on from the barriers on your left-hand side of your screen, what a finish to the race. What an amazing race. And gotta say, that was something. He's in tears down there, and I'm not surprised because that was something else again. Wow. We've had an amazing season, and that race really did show what it means to our riders. He's fought hard all season. He's come good at the end, and I think we're going to see a little one up by our podiums and interviews there. Well, Simon Gegenheimer coming up, and great to see him. I can see though from the body language, he's absolutely gutted not to take the top spot. And the congratulations come from Theo Hauser as well. In the end, it was Perrin Gagné from Gegenheimer from Morales, the 1, 2, 3 in the race there. And I think those legs are going to hurt. The lungs must be absolutely on fire, but he won't get it. He is our world champion. So here we go.
De la Coupe du Monde, on pourrait dire.
Ouais, en français?
En français, bien sûr.
Ouais, on s'est fait une sacrée bataille toute la saison avec Simon. Ça a très souvent tourné dans sa faveur. J'ai eu une ouverture là, dans le premier virage, j'ai dit allez, c'est maintenant. Et c'était dur de doubler sur ce parcours, mais on revient.
En plus, vous avez eu un parcours jusqu'à la finale qui était vraiment la compétition. Vous n'avez pas de... pour respirer, pour vous relâcher, ça a été très dur votre parcours, disons.
Dès les huitièmes de finale, on a eu des poules très relevées, ça a roulé très vite, ça frottait beaucoup, et chaque tour était une finale presque. Là, franchement, je ne réalise pas.
Alors, on te félicite et on entre maintenant avec la vidéo.
So one of the press jumping in, grabbing a quick interview on the way through there with Tito and Perrin Gagné. We are going to have them confirmed and up there very shortly. And Perrin Gagné doing a great job. But Gaëtan Menezes resting the legs. And I think we are going to be down with her very shortly indeed. So our riders just going to be lined up. At the end of a World Championships, our riders are always full of emotion, and it's no surprise there that they are absolutely over the moon. They have been battling it out all season. They've been racing all the way through to the finish. Our riders are lined up and ready, and I think we're going to hear from Gaia Main first.
Back-to-back UCI World Champion. Tell us how it went.
It was incredible. I already knew that Barcelona was a track for me. I really love it, and so I tried to do my best. And in the finals, it doesn't seem to be a world championship. I mean, I was so calm, so focused that it was just a race. But then after the finish line, when you see the rainbow everywhere, you understand it is a third world championship. So it feels good, of course.
It's been such an incredible season for you here, winning the UCI World Cup overall standings and now this World Championships in Barcelona. What is coming up for you the next coming years? What can we expect of you?
I don't know. I want to focus in Eliminator, of course, and I will try new disciplines. But for sure, the Eliminator is the one I love the most, and that suits me the most. So, yeah, it is incredible. Today is the cherry on the cake, I can say.
Complimenti, now it's time for some real off-season for you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yes, of course, I will go on holiday because I need it. Thank you.
Thank you.
So great to hear from Gaia Tormena there, who has got that third championship. And a rider who is multidisciplined, as you have heard. She's a rider who races Enduro, races XC, and of course is now 3 times a world champion. Well, taking the win here from Colleen Closure. Great ride by Closure, and great to see her come so good at the end of the season. And Ella Holmgaard, a really worthy bronze medalist, taking a 3rd place here today. So we have Gaia Tormena taking the win, Colleen Closure taking 2nd. It is, of course, Ella Holmgaard taking 3rd, and then Naomi Garnier. So our riders are lined up and ready to go. We're going to have them up on to the podium. It is going to be the bronze medalist. It is a 3rd place here today for Ella Holmgaard of Sweden, who gets the flowers here today. A rider who has battled really hard. Great to see her racing on a home turf over in Falun. 2nd place going to Colleen Closure, who can forget an amazing round down in Paris under the Eiffel Tower, but the winner, repeat world champion 3 times now for Gaia Tormena. Tormena of Italy will be putting back on those rainbow bands as our world champion. So fantastic racing, and great to see 3 happy, smiling riders up on the podium there. And no surprise, they'll be presented with their medals on the official podium afterwards, with all the pomp and ceremony as you would expect a UCI World Champion to receive. And that takes a lot longer than we've got time for on the show. So that's going to come up in a little while. Now, here in Barcelona, we have our riders here. So we are going to hear a little more detail from our riders. And I think this is going to be down on the finish line, just beyond the finishing line. Here we go. Let's head down and let's hear the thoughts of our
Tito,
riders
this is your
in our next interview with Tito and
title. How did you go? It's been an incredible ride for you.
I don't have the words. Just amazing. We have a super long and tough season, and a lot of big battle with Simon. He won a lot of me, but I finished 2nd a lot of times. And today, just say in my mind, full gas, and before the last straight line, I say in my mind, no 2nd place today, and go to the finish line to take the rainbow. Just amazing.
It's amazing for you. You've had an incredible start in Abu Dhabi, winning there, and now finishing this season with another victory. This must be one of your impressive wins of all your career.
Yeah, and I saw just before the race, you can finish 2nd all the time in the season. You can make a shitty season, but if you take the rainbow at the end of the season, it's just great. And today I took that. I don't believe it.
Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.
So great to hear from Tito and Perrin Gagne. Apologies for the language if anybody was offended by that, but as you can imagine, it is very emotional out there. So Tito and Perrin Gagne taking the win by 0.78 of a second from Simon Gegenheimer. Ricky Morales coming through to take 3rd place, and going to be a Rasuna bronze medal. Thea Hauser just out of the running and separated 0.04 of a second from Ricky Morales, but I'm sure we'll be seeing Theo Hauser back and racing again very shortly indeed. So great racing here today in Barcelona. So our riders will be up on our podium, and that's where we're going to see all 3 riders. Really interesting to see what that body language is doing. Here we go. So we are going to have our riders up. First up on stage is going to be the man who has raced for Puerto Rico. He's an amazing rider. He's a real character. It is Ricky Morales who comes on. He takes away the 3rd place spot. He's going to be getting that bronze medal. You can see Simon Gegenheimer, the defending champion, still smiling. A rider who knows about the highs and lows of racing. But look at this, the Frenchman is ecstatic, as well you would believe. It is Tito and Perrin Gagne, the 2022 UCI Mountainbike Eliminator World Champion. And he will be pulling back on those strokes. Previous world champion, of course, twice before. So great racing from our top 3, and great to see them on the show here today and see him in and racing. So great racing here today at Barcelona to round out an amazing season. Thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure putting words to the action. I have to say a massive thank you to the riders and all the team who make the racing happen across the season, particularly here in Barcelona. What a venue, what a set of races, and what a reclaim of titles by our 2 World Championships here at the UCI 2022 Mountainbike Eliminator World Championships. From me, Matt Payne, and all the team, stay safe. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
To the main stage to come here from